Hello, and welcome to Enter the Minds of Nadine and Vera podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today.
First of all, we'd like to do a disclaimer. We're not licensed therapists. We're just sharing what's on our hearts and our thoughts and our opinion. And if you have one, you feel free to do the same. Today, we have a very special guest. She's very dear to me in my heart, Cathryn.
Hi.
Say hello, Cathryn.
Hello.
Cathryn is a student, college student, and she's a dance instructor for little people. So she's going to tell us something about that. But she's a very busy young woman, and we'd like to share her with you today.
But first, I want to share that we do have a YouTube page now called Nadine and Vera Sconiers. So please subscribe, and you can watch our podcasts and videos on our YouTube. I just want to give a couple of shout outs before we start our podcast. We have 2 subscribers on YouTube as of right now. Thank you. And we got our first comment on YouTube, and I wanted to read it. This is from @DeanLove. She wrote, "Hello family, I'm Deborah's friend. She told me about your channel, so I subscribed to you. Thank you so much." So thank you, thank you for @DeanLove for subscribing to our YouTube page. Now on Spotify, we also got our first comment, and it's from Ray. Ray, you know who you are. It says, "Yay, Brother Charles, wonderful episode." He was referring to the episode when my dad Charles was on, and we were talking about retirement and men's health. So thank you for the comments. Please continue to post your comments, your questions, and your thoughts. You can
Share with your friends.
You can share with your friends, send your comments to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and of course our email address, which is nadine.vera@myyahoo.com. So today we have the lovely Cathryn with us. Yes, she's a dancer. She's a student. She also dates my son, Nana's grandson, William.
My princess.
They've been dating for 3 years, and we just love her, and she's family. So we have a lot to talk about. Let's get started.
Yes, ma'am.
Cathryn, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Sure. My name's Cathryn. I'm a college student.
What college do you go to?
I go to TSC, Tallahassee State College. Go
Yay.
Eagles. And then I'll transfer fall semester. And I'm a dancer. I've been dancing my entire life. And I teach little kids how to dance, and I will teach adults how to dance pretty soon. And hopefully in the future I'll work with children.
Well, you taught me a couple of moves.
And you have to have a lot
with pom-poms.
Yeah.
And you have to have a lot of patience with teaching little kids how to dance. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
They love to push my buttons.
I bet you.
I love them.
I bet you do.
Yes.
So my first question for you is, you guys graduated this past May actually from high school, and I know this is going on your 3rd semester of college. Do you feel like an adult?
No.
No.
No, I do not feel like an
Smart
adult.
lady.
There are some days and some things that I feel like I can handle as an adult, but it's the first year of me doing my taxes is coming up. Don't know how to do that. I had to ask my mom. So there's a lot of stuff that I still need to learn, and I do not feel like an adult yet, but we're getting there.
Well, you have the April and
Yes.
to fill out your taxes, so you still have plenty of time.
Good to know.
No one knows how to do their taxes until they have to. So
Great.
So yes, do you feel like the transition between high school and college, do you feel like it's difficult? Is it an easy transition?
I think because I go to a smaller school, it's a lot easier. It's a lot more chill than even high school was because of all of the AP classes I was in. I don't know why I did quotes, but all the AP classes I was in were very much like, this is college level coursework, and this is going to be what you're going to get in college. And now I'm in college and I'm not getting that. It's easier.
Okay.
But I'm thinking once I transfer to a bigger school, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a little bit more tough.
But you know what, Cathryn? You are hard working when it comes to your class. I don't think it's going to be any tougher.
Thank
You're
you.
smart, so.
William's in the background shaking his head, saying that it's pretty easy. He says his college is easier.
William thinks everything is easy though, and he is good at school, and he doesn't have to try as hard. So.
But if I remember correctly, you graduated with honors too, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
And if you're in AP classes, you must be pretty smart.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Even though you might have to work a little bit harder. Doesn't that drive you crazy? Because I have a brother like that school was easy and I had to try a little bit harder to get my good grades.
But you got them.
We got them, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's for me. I have to work for mine. But my husband, it was like breathing, you know?
And it's
So
frustrating.
actually, Cathryn works 2 part-time jobs and go to school. Now, how's it working and going to school? Do you feel like you have enough time to study, go to work, and have personal time?
Burnout is definitely real. I experienced that last semester because it was my first job and like my first real job. I work for this city, and I put in all of my availability and not thinking I was going to get scheduled all of that, and then they said, "Oh, thank you so much. Here is all of your availability taken up," and I wasn't expecting that at all. But I burnt out the first week. I didn't even get to finish the whole week because I got so sick because I got burnt out. So it's definitely real, and that was a hard lesson to learn because it made me sick. But that's okay. And I've learned it now. So now I have more time and better time management of all this stuff, and it's easier to say no because I know that I can't handle all of it.
So is that the key, time management? Is that the only thing that you learned, or is that the main thing?
It's probably not the only thing, but that's like my main. I like having time to myself, and I like having time with my family and your son, and my friends. So it just requires a little bit more thought and planning. I love my planner. Get yourself a planner.
And see, you're ahead of the game because many professionals are taking classes on time management, you know, so it's not just something you just happen upon. You have to learn how to manage your time.
And I was going to say, welcome to adulthood. That's what adults have to learn, how to time management. And it takes a lot of adults many, many years to realize it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
And don't feel guilty about it. Of
So
course.
maybe I do feel like an adult then.
Yes. Now, my daughter, who's 23, she calls herself, as soon as she turned 18, a YA. And a YA is a young adult. So I think you and William are qualified as a YA.
Yes.
So between the ages of like 18, she said to 25, because until you can,
Nana said,
or
you're
until
not
you rent a
grown
car.
until you're 25 when the car insurance go down and you're old enough to rent a car.
Yes.
So 25.
Now, you briefly talked about your jobs. Can you tell us about your jobs that you have?
Sure. So my first ever job was working at Diva Dance. It's a franchise, and I started as a host, just welcoming people in and doing social media stuff. And now I recently got upgraded, I guess, to be an instructor as well. So I get to teach adults how to dance and make little choreography for them. But my first class is on the 12th.
Okay.
On teaching. So that's exciting. I really like it there. Find a Diva Dance near you. Tell them Cathryn Reed from Diva Dance Tallahassee sent you. Maybe I'll get a cut. But and then my other like first real job was working at a city. It's called Truesdale Gymnastics Center. It's a city place, and I teach little kids how to do dance and gymnastics there.
Now, do you miss dancing? And you know, she was the captain of her high school squad.
Yes.
Do you miss actual, like, do you wish that you were dancing in college?
I definitely miss learning and performing a new dance and not having to make it up myself. But I don't miss the hard work that I had to put in for it. And I am like losing. I've noticed I've lost some skills because I don't put in the hard work for it. But my body is probably saying thank you for not going as hard because...
Giving yourself a break?
Yeah, giving myself a break, and I started dancing again because sessions started up again for the little kids. And so I have to dance and like move around, and my back is just killing me because they're like, what are you doing? But it's...
Well,
it's what it
Cathryn,
is.
I want to go back to your very first job. You did not name your very first job?
And what was that?
What am I
Working at your family's.
Oh.
She doesn't count that.
That's a job. It is.
I count that as like more volunteer work. My family has an animal clinic in
Still a
town,
job.
and so I kind of go around, try to answer phones, be like a receptionist and communicator between the front desk and the back.
So you were getting job experience. That's a job.
I guess, yeah. That works.
Communication is
Communication.
Yeah.
that's the main thing you
And
learn.
you were managing things. Even then, you was doing like the time management type thing and not knowing it.
I guess, yeah.
You could put all of that down on your
Put it on your
resume.
resume.
Oh, I did.
Don't ever
I
forget.
did.
Yes.
I put receptionist volunteer work.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. So Cathryn has a other older sister. Did she give you any tips about college life and or things you should stay away from?
Well, she told me things that I had to stay away from for sure. But whenever I was asking her, like, how do I apply to college? She's 5.5 years older than me, so she was like, I don't know.
She forgot.
She's like, it's changed so much, and FSU is very competitive now, and it was not as competitive when she went. No, knock to her, it's still a great school. But it's just not this same competitive-wise. So she was just trying her best, I guess, to encourage me to figure it out on my own. And I kind of did.
Yeah.
So it worked out fine.
Now, do you have any tips you would give fellow college students or students who are about to start college?
Yes, I do. Don't be so afraid to go to like your safety school, because I went to my safety school and I didn't even want to, and I really like it, and it's making me scared to go to my next school. So don't be scared to go to your safety school. It's your safety school for a reason.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so a safety school is like, you have like reaching schools when you apply to college. You have like reach schools. So like, if you're really, really smart, you could be like, Harvard is my reach school. And then, I don't know, UF is my like comfort school. And then Santa Fe, I think, is their like community college down in Gainesville. That would be my safety school. Like I know I'm going to get in there. You can always like work your way up to UF and then work your way up to Harvard. So don't be scared to go to your safety school. It's a lot cheaper and it's a lot more chill. And I thought it was an easier transition from high school to like college life.
And it was kind of like you reminded me, William was like, I want to go to FSU, that's it. And he didn't really want to consider any other college except for what he wanted.
He didn't have a backup school, so he's lucky that he got into his main school. But Cathryn is right. It's okay to go to your safety school. I tried to preach, just have choices. It's okay to apply to multiple colleges to have choices.
Yes, and there were so many people that told me that you're going to be just fine. Because I only applied to FSU. That was the only school I applied to. Shouldn't have. But that was the only one I applied to because my family, my teachers, people at FSU even.
Your grades?
Yeah, literally everybody told me that you're fine, you're going to do great, you're going to get in. And then decision day rolled around and all of my friends like got in on transfer, summer, fall, spring, and I didn't, even though I had better stats than all of them. So, and I was like, what do I do now? Because I didn't have any options anymore. So I had to go to my safety school.
Do you know how they pick the students?
They put out a like graphic of all of the statistics on them. But it's mainly, you have to have a really good college essay. You have to have pretty good scores, even though they're phasing like SAT and ACT scores out. That's another advice I'll give. Take the ACT and SAT. Don't just pick one.
That's important.
Because I did SAT, did horrible, did ACT, did great. So don't just pick, try both of them. And I forgot what my original point was, but that's okay.
I was going to say too, and if college is not for you, there's plenty of trade schools. And what I love about Charles High School is they give you like a lot of options. Some students actually graduated as like a certified nursing assistant. And also, was there any other careers that you guys could have graduated from?
There's CNA.
Yeah.
I think there was like some digital technology certificates you could get.
And then a lot of students did dual
Dual
enrollment. And so that's what I love about high school these days. They give you like all these opportunities. They give you all the tools that you might need if you want to go to trade school. So there's plenty of options. There's the military, but nothing wrong with the military, but college, trade school. I went to the Air Force. My mom was in the military, but I wanted my kids to go to college first. And if they really wanted to go to the military, fine. But I'm glad they went the route of college. And so far, so good. We're doing pretty good with Cathryn and William. Third semester, Kayla graduated from FSU. And Mom's just going to tell us a little quote about learning.
Well, the beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take that away from you. And of course, B.B. King said it, but it's something that I've said it all my career. It's like, you know, you go to a school and you obtain all the information. No one can take that from you. And whether you use it right away or not doesn't matter. You put it in your toolkit to use when the time comes.
It's kind of like building blocks.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
And I get upset because every time you get to a new level in your career, college or whatever, even when you get your first job, you're like, okay, I'm done learning. No, you're learning about that job. And then there's also like continuing education. So there's like, every day I learn something new at my job, so that you're always learning.
I'm sure you don't get upset. You get annoyed.
I get annoyed, yes.
But you know what? The thing is,
I want to be done learning.
when you're doing a career path, I'm on the head guy's side. They're sending you, they only send the best of their staff anyway. And they're training you to take higher positions, whether you understand that's what's going on or not. So you offer the class, say thank you, and take that class because that is what is happening.
To give yourself choices. And what if you need that class for a promotion?
It's not just you. I'm saying if your supervisors allow you to go to classes, they're seeing potential that you may not even see in you that they're going to be able to use once you're educated. But remember one thing, knowledge is not powerful if you don't share it. If you gain knowledge and keep it to yourself, it's no good. You have to share it. Don't be afraid to share. Even though people may try to use what you teach them against you, but that doesn't work out. Knowledge is only powerful if you share it.
Cathryn, you have anything else to say about college? College life?
Have fun.
Oh, I got
Yes, don't forget to have fun.
Yeah.
I got one more thing to say.
Okay.
This is very important.
Okay.
For the young, the middle age, season, whatever, and I guarantee you this is the truth. Always know that you are always on an interview. Yes. For example, I went for a job as a GS-12, and the head man told me he remembered when I was a little E5 15 years before, and I impressed him because I knew what was going on and was helping everyone. And then I noticed when I became the employer that hired people, I was always watching and making mental notes about people. So you are always on an interview. So always do your best and be on your best P's and Q's.
And have fun.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, moving on to our next topic. We're going to talk about all things Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Taylor Swift is Cathryn's favorite artist. Can you tell us why?
I think she has very powerful storytelling, and I think that I can relate to a lot of her songs. And my favorite thing, which kind of goes back to learning, is that a lot of people who say that they don't like Taylor Swift are the people that don't understand her lyrics.
Okay.
Because she uses a lot of metaphors and storytelling and a lot of big words that sometimes I have to look up, and that's okay. And William's coming over to shake his head now because he does not like her, and it's because he's uneducated. So that's that. But I love Taylor Swift.
And you was able to go to her concert this past year. How was that
Yes.
experience?
I was able to go to Miami, the Miami Eras Tour night 1 when she debuted the new Reputation bodysuit. Very big deal. Okay. Very
And what
big deal.
color was it?
It was black and gold.
Okay,
and then
right.
later that night, she sang a song with the lyrics that said, "I once believed love would be burning red, but it's golden." And that's important because her old Reputation bodysuit was red, was black and red, and now it's black and gold. Very big deal. Which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's a big deal.
So you think Kelsey must be a pretty intelligent dude, huh?
Well, she has a song about him that says, "You know how to ball, I know Aristotle." And so she's saying, you stick to your trade, and I'll stick to knowing the important
Nice.
stuff.
That's right.
And that's his favorite song because he probably doesn't understand all the other ones that great. But maybe he does. I don't know Travis Kelce, but maybe he does.
So that's pretty cool that she has a love song in there about her current boyfriend instead of a
Yes,
breakup song.
There's two.
Yes.
She
Okay.
has The Prophecy, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry. There's two. There's So High School, and then another one that's about him. And those are his favorites.
And
it
how
used
long-
to be Blank Space.
How long have you been liking Taylor Swift?
My first ever concert was the Reputation Stadium tour. Amazing concert. I don't remember it all that great because I blacked out.
Oh, when you said that you only been to one Taylor Swift
No.
concert. How many concerts have you been
Just
to?
two.
Just the two? Okay.
But because she took a really long break, she didn't go on. This was her first tour back.
Okay.
Since Reputation.
And where
She
was
did
it? In
me.
Carolina or somewhere? Or was it Atlanta?
The Reputation one I went to was in Atlanta, but the Eras tour was in Miami.
Miami, okay.
And which one did you like better?
I liked the Eras tour better because it had more. It had more of her songs. The 1989 set could have been better, but we live and we learn. And it's not going on anymore, so there's no more Mastermind. It's
There'll
really
be
sad.
more concerts, right?
Yes, there should be more concerts, hopefully.
And tell me how that experience was with your sister and your mom.
My sister introduced me to Taylor Swift. My sister has been listening to Taylor Swift ever since debut. And so she's like debut to 1989 kind of era and on, obviously. And then I'm Reputation and on era because I like her newer stuff more than her older stuff, which is kind of a hot take. I think I hear the opposite more. But I remember when she came out in the brand new bodysuit. It's the first time she's ever changed it.
Okay.
That's why it's the first time she'd ever changed it, and all of the other
really?
albums and eras had multiple costume changes.
Okay.
So this is a very big deal. People were like guessing when it was going to be. Reputation Taylor's version is still not out yet. We will hope and pray for one day it will be. But I remember when she walked out in it, I turned to my sister and we were holding hands and we started jumping up and down because we were so excited. We thought that Reputation was going to drop that night. We were clowning really hard, but it's okay.
Well, my favorite album is the Red album, the one that
Okay.
has 22 on it.
Yes.
Okay. So when my daughter was 10 years old, she loved Taylor Swift as well. And we listened to the Red album over and over and over again. I Love 22 was my favorite song out of that album. And we used to just, including William, we would just, before bedtime, just sit there and sing and dance and jump on the bed and just, poor William, he had to listen to a lot of Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and all these girls'
He
albums.
still has to.
And
I make him listen to it.
he's
still.
a good sport.
Yes, he's a very good sport.
But I told Kayla that the next time she goes on tour, which I heard the tickets were really expensive,
Yes.
but I want to see Taylor Swift.
I was lucky enough for the Eras tour, she went to the US, Ticketmaster messed up really bad, so she was like, I'll come back, do a second leg of the
Okay.
US. And so I was lucky enough to have won the Great Ticket War, and I got a code.
Oh, nice.
So we didn't have to deal with the scalpers, and so I'm very grateful for that, because I think if we had to deal with the scalpers, I don't think we would have been able to go.
Because I think Taylor Swift has, their scalpers are worse than Beyonce tickets. Like,
Yes.
I think, yes, Beyonce might be expensive too, but I'm like, Taylor Swift tickets were really, really bad.
There were tickets that were going upwards of $10,000, and they were in nosebleeds.
Well, did you see in the news that she donated $7 million to charity?
She loves charity.
At least she's giving the money back.
Yes, she loves charity. She did.
What I love is that she gives all of her.
Go ahead.
What I love is that she gives all of her workers after the tour is done. Doesn't she give them a large bonus?
Yes.
Yes, she gave them all a raise.
So yes, you hear my mother's phone going off in the back. That's okay. Moving right along. We love Taylor Swift.
Yes, we love Taylor Swift. What's your favorite song? Is it still 22?
It's still. I still love the older versions.
all right.
I do like Bad Blood when she came out with that
Kendrick
video.
Lamar.
That was pretty cool. And they're saying that since maybe she needs to come out on the Super Bowl and perform with him. I don't think that's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I think she's going to let Travis have his moment and just let him do stuff. They used to show her a lot more during the football games, and
Yes.
now they don't show her as much. They still show her, but not as much. So they probably pulled some strings.
So let's clarify. You like football, but you liked the Chiefs before Taylor Swift. Is that correct or after?
I did not care about NFL
really?
until Taylor Swift.
Oh, so you're a new Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, I'm a new Kansas City Chiefs
I'm
fan.
an old Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yes.
Okay, I've been liking Kansas City for the last 6 years. Before I'm a pre-Taylor, Cathryn's the post-Taylor.
Yes.
But we welcome everybody. We welcome all new fans. The more support we have for the Chiefs, we love it.
And the people who don't are just uneducated.
Or haters.
Yes.
Right. It's so funny how much people do not like Taylor Swift, and they just are so upset that she goes to the football games. I don't understand. If it gives the football more promotion, no matter how they're getting it, and it's making football more money, why not?
Why not? Because it's funding your sport.
You're right. Well, anyway, I think that they have a good love story, and hopefully we see their...
Taylor Swift song reference. Love story.
You see what I did there? I did that on purpose. Maybe not. You have any thoughts, Mom, about Taylor Swift?
I love her lipstick, and I wish that when I put mine on, it would stay so perfect. I don't know her music, but a lot of people probably say they don't like her and don't even really know her. And so when you look at it like that, they're just, like you say, they're just ignorant. But I do love that her lipsticks it's just perfect.
Pat McGrath.
Huh?
The brand is Pat McGrath.
But it's red, right?
It's red lipstick, but the brand, the maker of it is Pat McGrath.
Do you have that?
No,
brand?
that's too expensive.
Is that the kind that go on? It looks like crayon, but then what makes it shine? The lip gloss? Because I got some pink like that.
It's probably shiny from lip gloss, yeah. Or the formula is just shiny.
Yeah.
I will say that a woman that wears red lipstick has to be a confident woman. So
it draws a lot of attention.
Yes, it does. And she wears red lipstick all the time.
As long as you got white teeth.
Yeah.
Confidence.
I saw something that said if you go out and you just wear red lipstick, no other makeup, it would make you look better because all of the attention is being drawn to your mouth and not all of the other stuff going on your face.
Well, hopefully my lip gloss is doing that for me. My little shiny lip gloss.
Period.
Any final thoughts on Taylor?
Stream Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Taylor's version.
Taylor's version.
Taylor's version.
Okay, now let's talk about all things William and Cathryn.
Oh, goodness. Let's.
Where should we start? Should we start from the beginning?
If you want to, we can, yeah.
Just, you want to give us the highlights, or?
I'll say this. Girls, make the first move. because the man never does. And if he does, it's bad. So don't wait for them. You have to talk to them first. I don't know what I was on, something, okay? Probably ridiculous, okay? It was right out of COVID. I was at home and I did like home online school instead of in person my freshman year. So I come back sophomore year and I have no social filter anymore because I've lost it all while I was by myself in my house for an entire year and a half. So I come back and I see this cute boy. I'm like, period. So then I try to talk to him, and he's sitting next to this girl, which was his best friend at the time's girlfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was like, oh my gosh, what if he has a girlfriend? This is so ridiculous. But whatever, how dare he? They weren't dating. So I moved on, waited a little bit, and then I invited myself to his house, and that was our first full-on conversation because we were talking about the show Sherlock in math class, and it was taken off of Netflix with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was taken off of Netflix, and he said that he had it downloaded, and so I was like, oh, I'll just have to come over and watch it sometime. That's bad. You don't invite yourself over to their house.
But did he say no? What did he say?
He didn't say yes.
You didn't come.
He didn't say yes. And so I was like, gosh, what is wrong with me? And then I went to my next class because I walked completely the opposite way. If I usually walk that way to my class, I walked this way with him.
So he made you nervous a little bit?
No, he didn't make me nervous. I think I was too dumb to be nervous. Because if I had thought about what I was saying a little bit more, I
so
wouldn't have
kind of
said
worked in
that.
your favor.
Yeah, for
not
sure.
knowing what you was doing.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool.
But then I go to my next class, and then I get a friend request on Snapchat, and I later learned that he didn't even know my last name, and he didn't know how to spell my name, and so he had to ask people who I was so he could add me. And then the people he asked, who I've known since middle school, since before William, didn't know my name either.
Wow.
So that was really funny. Or they didn't know how to spell it.
But he put in some effort then. If he was asking about you afterwards, he must have left something.
No, because they told him, dude, she obviously likes you.
Oh.
And they were like...
So he needed help too.
Yes. So you have to make the first move. That's that. And the rest is history.
Mom, have you ever made the first move in life?
I'm old school.
Oh, okay.
But let me think real hard. Have I ever made? Yeah, I guess you can count this. The boyfriend I had after divorce for 22 years or so. My first move would have been we were deployed to Germany, and it was a bunch of us NCOs. I was an NCO at the time, sitting around chit-chatting. I don't know if I had duty or somebody else, but it was a bunch of us in there. And this particular person walks in, and I go, "Excuse me, sir," because he was an officer. And I was like, "Can you walk around in a circle?" And he does it. And I go, "Thank you."
Nana.
We were grading him, and I gave him an A. He had a nice butt. Later on, he asked me what was I doing. I said, "Well, why did you do it?" He was like, "Because you asked me to." I said, "Well, I was just trying to look at that,
Cathryn, I wanted to ask you that too. In high school, Cathryn was also a photographer, so she photographed.
I'm still a photographer.
I'm sorry, you are still a
She's
photographer,
still a
but you used to photograph the boys' football team as well. And Wayne was on the football team, and
Yes.
right,
Yes.
and when I was in high school, I was in a band, and what we did, we sat there and watched all the boys on the football team, and we looked at their butts. And
Okay.
so, was that something that you and your friends did before?
You mean when you was in high school?
No, when I was in high school.
Okay, make sure you say that clear.
Oh, not Williams. When we was in high school, when I was in high school in the band, we sat there, and during the football game, really wasn't a football fan at that time, but we were a fan of looking at the guys' booties in their uniforms.
Not me. I was in love with this one guy all my life.
gosh.
So, and I was in the band, so I didn't think to look at the football players.
What about you?
Well, I was in yearbook, so I was taking the pictures for yearbook, and it just so happened to be that my boyfriend was on the team, and I might have a couple pictures of him.
Oh, I didn't need to know that. No, I was talking about before.
No,
But I didn't really go. Well, I guess I had to go to football games because I performed at them.
yeah.
But we weren't really interested in the football game because we were just like a group of girls that it was
Dressed alike and
Yeah.
was Miss Preppy.
yeah. So we were just like a group of girls that were dancing and then left.
Doing your own thing.
Yeah, we did our own thing. But I was in driver's ed over the summer at the same time that the football team had like summer practice. And because it was like my first outing into the real world after COVID, I would wait to tell my parents or my grandpa to come pick me up because I wanted to be out longer. I didn't want to go back home yet.
Right.
So I would just lie. I wouldn't lie, but I wouldn't say I'm done. And I would just walk over to the like bleachers, and me and my friends would watch the football practice.
Why not?
Because we were bored, and we would like make up stories about them.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know who they were.
Right.
And it wasn't hurting anybody, so we just made up like little stories. So I could have made up a story about Will before I even knew it.
You could have.
And this is a cool thing actually. In middle school, I went to the like rival middle school that Will went to, and we went to the championship, I guess, for middle school, and I performed at the game that they played at.
Right.
So I thought, and he was playing, so I was watching him play. I just had no clue.
Not with those helmets on, you would have not have
Well, I
known.
didn't know who he was yet,
Right.
but I performed there, and then my school won. So
Yeah.
go
Thank you. Yeah. They did go through championships and we lost, but that's okay.
I think it was a 4P, or it was 3P or 4P.
Oh,
something very cool.
Nice. Nice for you, Cathryn.
So sorry.
But no, William and Cathryn have been dating for 3 years, over 3 years now.
Yes.
That's a blessing, you know. It's a blessing that I love Cathryn, because sometimes I wonder, like, what if I didn't like her? Like, would that be an issue?
Well, what I would like to say is I think you and William are very disciplined with your time because, you know, when you have to study and it's during the week, you know, you studying, you're not putting it aside just to hang out with each other. I love the fact that you go and you do your thing with your girlfriend. And I say, William, you bored? He goes, nope. I say, why not? My rest time. And it's important for you to have your own personal time. And then I love the fact that you guys get together and do your thing as well.
Yes, and sometimes when he goes to Cathryn's house or you guys go out, and I'll be like, oh, I thought you was going to hang out with me. And he tells me that I should have asked him. So I have to like make dates with my son now, because what you guys do not know is William was my baby. He's still technically my baby, but they start dating. Cathryn is technically Cathryn is 3 months older than William.
Why you tell
No, just two.
Just 2 months.
Yeah,
Okay,
why
2
you
months.
tell people business?
That's okay. Well, I'm the mom.
Okay.
But the point is, up until Cathryn, William was my baby. We laid in bed and watched TV together. We went out on little mommy-son dates or whatever. And people used to always tell me, you know, you might not like him all over you now, but just wait, one day he's not going to be all over you and you're going to miss it. And now I can say that I miss it.
Well, I do try my best to tell him to go lay with you. Like when we're on the phone and I'm doing something, he's like, "What are you doing?"
It's
or
not
like,
the same
"I'm busy."
anymore. He's
Or
too
it's
big.
Like, go hang out with your mom, or like go.
Like he will come and watch like a football game with me and Nana on the couch, and he'll come sit next to me and put his cold feet on me. So he still gives me that privilege. But literally, actually when Cathryn and William started dating, I was doing my year of travel nursing. And one day he just calls me and he says he has a girlfriend. I'm like, wait, what? Not my baby. And then my mom, So then I talked to my mom on the phone, and she was like, yeah, I just dropped them off on a date, and her grandfather dropped her off, and now I'm just going to wait until they're done. I think you guys were eating maybe ice cream together. It was
was up
something
there
in Bannerman Plaza.
Yeah.
We went to dinner and then we went to
Yes.
ice cream and
Yeah.
then a liquor store had like the liquor store had a live band playing outside
Like
of it.
on the outside.
Yeah, so we went and sat outside and watched the band play. And of course, when my mom looked at my location and saw I was at a liquor store,
She called you.
she sent my grandpa to find me. And so I was like, oh, they started playing a song that is like very special to me and my grandpa. I was like,
Aww.
I haven't heard this in so long. And then I look over and I see my grandpa walking towards me and I'm like, how'd you get here? And then I was like, do you hear the song they're playing? And he's like, why are you at a liquor store?
You're like,
I
we're
was like,
outside.
listen to the music. Like,
And I was on the other side watching everything.
That's when I knew that let me get my butt home and move. You know, when I was done with travel nurse, I was like, I need to get back into William's business, which he still hates to this day. I want to know everything that's going on with him, Cathryn, Kayla. Sometimes Cathryn, I'll be like, where's Cathryn? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, can't you see her location? Maybe you need to give me your location. Like, I need to know where everybody is.
Don't do it, Cathryn.
No, don't do it. I know your mom.
Is.
I know your mom watches you now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, what is one thing you admire about William?
I really admire his patience and his willingness to be very generous to me. I'll explain. He's very patient with me because I'm a very anxious person by nature. And so he's very patient with me and tries to help me, even though sometimes I don't want it. And so he's very generous with his time and trying to help me when I refuse because, I don't know, I just really like his patience levels and his generosity.
What is one thing that annoys you about William?
Let me get started. Anyway, he's gotten better about stuff. He used to ask me to look things up for him when he was holding his phone, and that really bothered me because he could do it himself.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, he doesn't really annoy me
Okay.
as much. So I have a very short fuse sometimes because of work, because I work with kids, so I have to use my battery as
Yes.
long as I can there. And so
Yes.
then when I come home, my battery is on the edge of dying out. So I have a very short temper sometimes. And sometimes he'll just push me a little bit too much.
But I really do think that you guys balance each other out.
Yes.
Just
He makes me more calm, for sure.
And I love the way that you guys communicate with each other. Like, I've never heard you guys argue, which I'm sure you guys have. But what I do like that you guys might have conversation about things, but I feel like you guys talk about it and communicate very well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will give my brother his props. He taught William that, you know, always bring a girl flowers. I know when you guys first started dating and
Yes.
William would bring, Cathryn loves pink flowers or whatever and candy. And so my brother did teach William how to be a gentleman, but William has always been a gentleman since he was a little boy. So I am blessed that, you know, I hope that you guys continue to have just a blessed relationship and, you know.
Something else that,
Yes.
since you brought up your brother,
Okay.
that he also taught William is he's very stubborn and he's very blunt. So he'll just say stuff and I'll say, that's not nice. And he's like, well, it's not. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying. And I said, okay, thank you. So that'll be something that your brother and will get on my
Well,
nerves.
William
I know my brother can work on
yeah.
it for sure.
Well, William and Kayla is just like their Uncle Terry. So
Gotta love them.
They're very stubborn and
they're
just,
very, you know.
They didn't get that from me. Like,
Much
I
like
think kind of
that.
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna start wrapping this up. I guess we can talk, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna ask Cathryn some rapid fire questions. Mom, you can ask the first three if you want. And you just
What
say
is
like,
your
what's
favorite thing to do in your free time?
Scroll on TikTok and lay in bed.
And be on the phone, not saying anything?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Tanya?
No, you asked the first three.
What is your favorite meal? Ice cream and
My favorite meal is right now it's Carrabba's rigatoni al forno with chicken instead of sausage. Chicken.
okay, cool. And what are some of your favorite songs and author? You gotta tell me the song and who sing it.
One of my favorite songs is "Don't Blame Me" by Taylor Swift.
Okay.
"Mastermind" by Taylor Swift. Norwegian Wood, I believe, is the one that me and my grandpa really like. I can't remember who sings it, but Norwegian Wood. And then, I can't think of any more right
That's
now.
enough.
But I
That's
have
enough.
a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your most prized possession?
Probably my baby blanket.
Oh, you still have it. That's so sweet.
Have we seen it?
No.
Have you brought it over here? Okay.
Yes, but-
Describe a special moment from your childhood.
A special moment. I wasn't given these beforehand, by the way.
Right. I purposely didn't give these to you.
A special moment from my childhood. There's this. I remember the first thing that comes to mind is I was at church. I used to go to like a Net Kids, I think it's called, thing where after school you go to church and kind of like go to choir and learn about the Bible and get to play and crafts and stuff like that.
Sound like a Bible school.
It's
or
like,
something.
yeah, it's like kind of a Bible school, but it's like once a week after regular school, just like kind of give you something to do. And after like it would be over, they would have like Wednesday dinner at the church, and my grandpa would come to the dinner and then take me home. And me and my best friend at the time were not interested in the dinner at all, and we thought we owned the church because we'd gone there forever, and everybody knew us because my grandpa and my grandparents are very active there. So I think that I thought I owned it. So we would run around and hide in like all these rooms and places we weren't supposed to be in. But one day we noticed that the sprinklers were on outside, and so we went and ran back and forth in the sprinklers, and my grandpa looked out the windows because it was the dining hall looked out onto where the sprinklers were.
Of course.
So he looked up and he sees me and my best friend just going at it in these sprinklers, and I just remember him being like, "What are you doing?" And it makes me laugh now.
Yes.
And of course I was like, it's so fun. The sprinklers are on. Nobody was watching me. Like I'm having the time of my life.
Best time of your life.
Yes. So that's a special moment with me.
Awesome.
Yes.
Who's your favorite pet?
I have a lot of pets. My favorite dog, I'll do that.
Okay.
My favorite dog is Archie.
Okay.
He's my little Yorkie Terrier mix mutt. He's a mess. I love him though. And then my favorite cat is Wyatt, because I bottle fed him from when he was 2 weeks old. So now I feel like he's my soul cat. And he's like he's for once my actual pet.
Okay.
Usually our pets were like, they all like my mom the most, but they were like family pets that my mom liked. And then like my sister, Archie is technically my sister's. And so Wyatt is like finally mine.
Yes.
So
That's special.
I love him very much.
What is your earliest memory of your mother?
My earliest memory of my mom,
Or your favorite memory?
or my favorite. Okay. My favorite memory, of course, as soon as you ask me, all the
It's okay.
memories I
It's
have
okay.
disappear. But I can tell you my earliest one because it's kind of sad, but it's okay. There was a big storm going on, and I remember I was probably like 3, don't know. There's a huge storm going on, and I was like sitting on her hip while she was making pasta, and some music was playing, and then a tree fell through our house.
Oh.
Everybody was okay.
Dramatic
Nobody got
though.
hurt.
That's why you
Yeah,
remember.
but that's my first memory.
Big core memory, right?
Yeah, big. But I only remember like me just sitting on her hip. I don't remember anything else. I just remember like looking.
So you felt safe?
Yeah, I guess.
You were fine. You didn't. Yeah.
Oh, some of my favorite memories of me and my mom and my sister is I'm the youngest, so I'm considered, my nickname is Weasel because I'm the baby, so I always like looked and saw what my sister did, and I was like, I can do that better, or I can do that and not get in trouble for it. So I tested it, and I didn't get in trouble for it, but my sister is like Mama 2. So my mom would say, okay, Mama 2, that's enough.
I love it.
When she was trying to get on to me about like, what, you would have never let me do that. And so I would just like hide behind my mom and be like, at my sister. And
So you think it was better to be the second child?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you have a hidden talent?
No. I'm double jointed in my elbows. But
oh, wow.
do you want to see? It's kind of scary.
Okay, yes.
I'll show.
Oh.
I can do that.
Did that help you with dancing?
No, it actually hurted a lot.
Did
because in dance, like, if somebody wants a straight line, my straight line is that. Like, when I fully extend my elbow, that's
I see it, yeah.
my straight line, but they want
so you have to correct
it. So I
it.
have to like bend my arm really weird, and then they're like, straighten your arm. I'm like, I simply can't. So, because then it's going to be like that instead of that.
Okay.
That's my hidden talent, I guess.
Well, we're so happy that Cathryn was able to join us today, and thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Enter the Minds of Nadine and Vera podcast. And we're so happy that you were able to join us, and thank you so much, Cathryn.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.